Director of Cricket. Let's hear from Guyana Times. Just wanted to ask the question about Gudakesh Modi, the reason behind his omission, and some more clarity on the inclusion of Ruston Chase. It was mentioned in the release that Chase was selected based on experience, and we all know that his form has been patchy. So just some clarity there, Chief Selector.
Sorry, Doc.
Hi, Brandon. Right. The situation regarding the Ralston Chase selection is the fact that, and also you mentioned about Moti, is that we as a panel, we decided that we would go for off spinner. And that's the reason why we did not include Moti in the side. And we believe that Chase was the best person for the job, that can do the job for us. And that was, that was what the panel decided.
Finally from me, how close was it for Raheem Cornwall to be selected once more in the West Indies team? Was there consideration given? Was he up for a selection? Discussions around his name?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of other players that were up for selection as well. But Raheem, yes, he was considered as well.
All right,
thanks.
Thank you, Brandon. Thanks, Dr. Hanes. And Barry Wilkinson, second question coming up from Barry.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen. Barry Wilkinson from Line and Length Network. This question is either for the lead selector or for Jimmy Adams. It's actually a follow-up to what Brandon would have just asked. It was widely known in Antigua that Raheem Cornwall was indeed selected in the squad, and then we heard for the last moment that he was pulled. I just want to know if the director of cricket can shed some light on that and expand upon it, or perhaps put that talk to rest that he was indeed selected and then deselected at the last moment. Can you put some light on that, director?
You're mute, Jimmy.
Sorry. Yes, Barry. In answer to your question, there was a group of players that were under consideration for selection. From what I was told from the lead for the panel, and this included Raheem. It also included Dominic Drakes. However, we needed information on not just these two, but the group that was under consideration as well. And we decided that we wouldn't make a decision on either player or any of the other players, right, until all the information that was required came in. And it was not until we had all this information to make a decision, which is why the team didn't officially go out until Friday, because the final selection meeting was actually held on Friday morning. So we needed to get information in on these players. Raheem was one of them. And once this information came in, the panel was able to convene and to select the squad that was selected. I don't know if that answers the question. Barry?
Yeah, well, okay, so just to clarify then, he was not originally picked in the 15-man squad. He was part of the nucleus squad, which is like a 20-man squad or so, but he was not picked in the 15-man squad.
He was part of a group that was under consideration. He would have been informed that he was under consideration pending, but we needed the information to come in. And once that information came in, then the panel was able to convene and make a decision.
All right, was his pending anything to do with fitness? And if it was, can you speak to if he failed the fitness test or if his fitness wasn't up to scratch?
It included quite a few things, medical and physical, but obviously, that this is not a forum where we discuss issues of that nature. But I can give you as much information as I have given you, that all of the information surrounding Raheem needed to come in for consideration first before a decision was made on him.
Okay, thanks, Barry. Thanks, Jimmy, for your clear explanation. We see. I don't see any other hands up. Let's see. Terry is sent a direct message. Terry Loragi, please state your questions. Any other persons with questions, please indicate in the chat by raise of hand. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Philip, and good afternoon to Jimmy and Desi. It's not so much of a question per se, but I just want to reiterate the fact that you must be happy with the squad that you've selected. To me, it's a very good balance of experience and the up-and-comers that we're looking to continue their fantastic performance in the Red Bull setup. This is what we've been working towards. This is what we've been working at. I know people lose their cool and you know, say things that doesn't necessarily need to be said. But at the end of the day, can't we see the progress that you guys are trying to make under this administration in the fact that at the end of the day, if we really want a complete setup and get West Indies anywhere near back to where we were, then it must come from the test team. That, in other words, a solid foundation in red ball cricket, and then you move on to whatever.
Terry,
and I feel that is what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, Terry. Well, thanks, Terry. Appreciate that. Do you have an actual question that you want to pose to Dr. Hanes or to Mr. Adams? Appreciate it.
No, just along those lines, Philip. That if you can just bear and see the journey through, then I think that benefits West Indies cricket a lot more than arguing a toss over whether this one should be selected or that one should be selected or whatever.
Okay. Thank you very much, Terry. Appreciate it. Question from
Thank you very much.
Hands raised. We see Jelani Beckles, then Adriel Richard. So
thanks Philip. Hi, lead selector, Jelani Beckles here, Trinidad and Tobago. Selector, I just wanted to get some explanation on, I know there are quite a few good fast bowlers in the region now. I know Shannon Gabriel has had his issues with injury. Was it a situation where Shannon Gabriel was just overlooked, or is he battling any injury or something? Just wanted to get explanation on him not being in the squad. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, we've been going to Australia, and I must say my belief is that you know, you need fast bowlers in Australia. I think that Australia is a place that assists the fast bowlers. So we would have discussed a lot of the fast bowlers that in the region, and it's a bit unfortunate that Shannon didn't make the side here. If you look at Shannon in the 4-day competition, you know, it was a situation where that he didn't play a lot of games. Obviously, he had a little injury for Trinidad. But, we obviously will still look at Shannon, playing in the 4-day competition because he's somebody with raw pace and, but he was overlooked for this tour because of the players that we decided that we'll stick with for the, England. We played very well against England and also Bangladesh.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Next question from Adriel Richard.
Yes, good afternoon, gentlemen. Jelani stole a bit of my thunder, but Chairman, just trying to go back to the Roston Chase's selection. When you omitted him, you had suggested that his batting he was picked more primarily for his batting and not so much his bowling, even though his bowling was very, very useful and has proven to be to win West Indies matches. What evidence would you have seen that would have suggested that his batting has improved, that would allow you to want to make this decision to give him this opportunity again?
Well, thanks very much for the question, Woody. I think it's an interesting one. It's a good question because when you look at someone like Ralston Chase, his record